I'm actually an ex-offender myself. I came out in April of 2007 and spent about a year and a half looking at employment, training, volunteering and everything else with very little success. But I just happened to be talking to somebody who does mentoring with offenders, and I just happened to mention that when I was in prison that I actually edited or set up and edited a magazine within the prison that I was at, well, two prisons I was at, and he just happened to say, well, you need to speak to John Costa, and the rest is history. Basically, we express all the positive things that happen in criminal justice. Is to inform both offenders, ex-offenders, criminal justice staff and anyone who has an interest in the criminal justice system of what positive is happening out throughout the UK.
How do you get stories for it, and how do you attract contributors to the magazine?
Well, it's through social media, also through an organisation called Clinks. They send me a weekly bulletin. And so does these various different offender charities. They send me their bulletins, etc.
Do you get other ex-offenders writing for you?
Yes, and that is starting to happen now. I've been met, because I'm an ex-offender myself, I've been met with a little bit of suspicion from the Prison and Probation Service and also National Offender Management Service, which runs the Prison and Probation Service. They're just sort of a little bit dubious about an ex-offender writing and keeping contact with other known offenders. When I first got released from prison in 2007, as I said, it was on my licence agreement that I didn't actually speak to any known offender. They just don't like offenders mixing with other offenders. They just feel that it's sort of very good. And it could lead you down the wrong path, which sometimes it can, yes, but other times it could be a good thing, positive thing.
Positive that comes out of it.
Exactly, and it has done. Very recently, for example, last week, I just happened to be looking through Facebook, the NACRO page, saw that there was a guy who had contributed, decided that I was going to find out more about him, and now he's a friend of mine on Facebook, and he's been contacting me, and I've got all these meetings set up in Grimsby, of all places, with the possibility of funding and everything. He's an ex-offender.
To start a magazine?
Yeah, basically, to actually bring the magazine into the 14 prisons within the Lincolnshire area. The National Offender Management Service, reducing reoffending manager, basically wants the magazine to go into his prisons. Although it's been going for 3 years, there's been no money available for actually printing. But just recently I've been awarded £1,000 and received a little bit of support from also another charity as well, which paid for the first issue, the last issue, issue 8, to be printed professionally. And all future copies will now be printed.
So prior to the money to print it, was it?
It was more sent electronically to almost 700 probation officers, Ministry of Justice, NOMS, third sector charities, etc., etc. Also went to 29 prisons. I sent it to the library. They then print out 10 copies for the library, and then one each for the one copy for each of the wings as well. But there was no guarantee that that was actually taking place. So I'd much rather supply them with actual hard copies, and it looks like I've now got funding to do that.